Now, Cripps mission. What was it is all about? Well, in the year 19, it came on 2nd March 1942. And who was the main head? Sir Stafford Cripps. Sir Stafford Cripps. That's why it is called a Cripps mission. Well, what were the major recommendations of the Cripps mission? What was the major recommendations? Why the Cripps mission came into India? I told you, to negotiate with the Indian people so that they give their consent that yes, we are on the side of the British government in the Second World War. And also they were knowing that it is difficult now to remain indifferent from the problem of the Indian people. Now they can't deny the problem of the Indian people that yes, we need a participation in governing our country. This was the urge of the Indian people, that was their demand. And now the British government was knowing very much sure that yes, we can't ignore the Indian problems, and that's why it was a duty by the Cripps mission, it was a duty of the Cripps to negotiate with the Indian people and to negotiate and make them convince on their side and make them to settle down all the problems of the Indian people. How to negotiate with that problem? Well, what were the major recommendations? What was the major recommendations? Well, first and the foremost, immediately after the end of the Second World War, we will set up a assembly, we will set up a structure, we will set up a constitutional body which will frame a new constitution in the India. So now we were knowing that yes, the people of the India were demanding for the constitution. They wanted a constitutional reform in India. They wanted to participate whole and soul with a full majority. They wanted to participate in the Indian in running the country, in governing the country. So they were knowing that yes, today now the people at that time, people of India, they wanted to participate in the constitution. They wanted to govern the constitution. For that matter, they wanted a constitutional reform. So they said that immediately after the end of the war, after the end of the Second World War, there will be a constitutional body which will frame the new constitution for India. So in short, I am writing a constitutional body which frame a new constitution in India. Now, this was the first recommendation. Now, the second one was, what was the recommendation or the suggestions? What was the suggestion? Hope you have done that. That at the end of this war, there shall be the steps shall be taken to set up a constitutional body for planning for framing a new constitution in India. Now, the second one is, provisions shall be taken, shall be made a set out below for participation this is a short for a participation of Indian states in the constitution body. Well, what does that mean? That means in that constitutional body which is going to frame a new constitution, there Indian states participation is going to be there. The provision shall be made to set out a rule, set out below for the participation of Indian states. Now all the provinces of that British Empire and the princely states, they will also participate in that constitutional body which will frame the constitution, a new constitution for India. So